lesson will cover the iStat. It's a lightweight, portable and easy to use point-of-care blood gas analyzer that delivers lab-quality diagnostic results in minutes. This lesson will cover the following training objectives. The main thing is we're going to learn how to operate the iStat for patient use. And we'll do this by orientating ourselves to this device. We'll discuss how to do a pre-user 373 check and then go into the functionality of the machine. Let's orientate ourselves to the device. There you can see the on-off button, the display screen, and the main menu button, and the additional soft keys. Looking at the bottom of the device, we can see the cartridge slot. If we spin the device round so we can now see the top of the device, we can see the infrared port, the laser scanner, the blood glucose slot, and the battery compartment. If we remove the battery from the battery compartment, we can see the battery carrier. All iStat1 battery carriers should be red. The red battery carrier contains a fuse which provides protection against the batteries overheating. There's a variety of different iStat cartridges available for point-of-care pathology testing. Chem8, CG4, and finally ACT, which we use for HF. All cartridges need to be stored in the fridge 2 to 8 degrees. Before use, they must be brought to room temperature. A single cartridge takes 5 minutes and a box takes 1 hour. Once out of the fridge, they're to be stored at 18 to 30 degrees. Once they're out of the fridge, you need to annotate new expiry date on the cartridge. Ensure this is not before the factory expiry date. What we'll cover now is the quality control check. A QC must be performed on every new batch of cartridges prior to use. The following procedure should be followed exactly to give the best chance at getting the desired results. QC solutions must be out of the fridge for at least 4 hours before use and can be used up to 5 days. For best results, take cartridges out of the fridge at the same time. Once the quality control has been completed, you can locate the reference ranges on the Abbott Point of Care website. What we're going to cover now is the 373 pre-user check. The first thing we need to do is a physical check of the iStat. We're going to look for any dirt and damage on the machine. Check that our screen is not cracked. All our functional buttons look like they are working. And any damage anywhere. The next thing we need to check is the TMW asset number. Once we're happy with that, we need to look at the MDSS serviceability sticker and check that this is in date. We're going to check that the display screen is intact and the soft keys are functional. We're then going to remove the battery compartment. We're going to examine the batteries, looking for any cracks, any spills or any heat damage to the battery. We're also then going to look at the battery housing and confirm that this is red. We're also then going to check the internal points of the battery compartment, just to check the pins and that they're intact. We're going to inspect the infrared port and the laser scanner. The final thing we're going to do for our physical check is examine the cartridge port. Once we pop the device back together, we're now going to perform the functional checks. The third thing we're going to do is switch them on to allow the self-test to work. Once it's switched on, we're then going to check that the date and time is correct according to Zulu. We're then going to select the menu button, and then we're going to go into the administration menu. We're going to select option 3 for quality tests. Once we've done that, we're then going to press option 4 to select the simulator, and then we need to enter our operator ID using your last 3. It will ask us to do it again. We need to pop our simulator ID in. This is where we use our eSIM, and we can see the simulator ID just there. Only using the numbers, we're going to enter this in. We're going to confirm that with enter, and then we're going to insert the simulator into the cartridge port at the bottom. This will take 60 seconds, and this will tell us whether we have a pass or a fail. We can now see that it has passed. We would remove the eSIM. The calibration with the eSIM is to be performed on 5 occasions. If the device fails an eSIM test, it should be sent to MDSS. You should do this before use, after clue update, after a change of batteries, after a change in altitude, or before a QC. What we're going to discuss now is some of the main menu features on this device. So if we turn the device on, there's 2 sub-menus. As you can see here, this is the test menu, but if we wanted to go into the administration menu, we just press this menu button here. In the administration menu, there's some useful things on here. The first one being the analyzer status. This is where we can find the temperature of the device. If we go back in this by pressing the menu button, we can also look at data review. This is where you can find your previous patient's blood samples. So if we enter their numbers, press the enter button, there we can see a previous sample. And then the final useful thing on this menu is set clock. So if we press the 5, it will ask you for a password. There is not actually a password of this, so if we just press enter, we can skip that. And this is where we can change our date and time if we need to. And we can just press the menu to get back to the main screen. As you will see here at the bottom, there is a flashing battery sign, so this indicates that we have a low battery on this device. So with the battery capacity, you can get 100 to 400 analyzers depending on the cartridge type used. When the battery icon flashes, as we can see on the screen, you get up to 50 more samples, and eSIMs can be performed. We're now going to move on to the functionality of the iStat. Processing a sample. Take your blood sample as normal from the patient. You can find your syringes and its consumables in the iStat Lacon. What we need to do is turn the iStat Analyzer on once we have our sample. We then need to select option 2 for the iStat cartridge. It will ask us to enter our operator ID, so we popped in our last 3. We will then do this again, and then it will ask for our patient's ID. For the purpose of this video, we'll put in 123. It will then ask for our cartridge lot number, so we can either enter this number or we can scan. Make sure that you're pointing the laser downwards. It will then instruct us to insert the cartridge. To do this, we will empty the cartridge. What we need to do now is, with our sample, we need to fill up the cartridge up until the fill line. So we're going to remove our cap from our syringe. Make sure we push the sample to the top of the syringe so there is no air in it, like so. And then we're going to go
directly into the line. And then we're just going to fill to the fill line. And then what we need to do is press over the cap, and then we need to insert it into the analyzer, like so. The analyzer takes a few minutes to process a sample. Once that is finished, you'll be able to scroll through your results, and then you can copy the results into the patient's notes. All you need to do then is remove the cartridge and pop this into a sharps box. And that's how you perform a sample. What we need to discuss now is the Clue software update. The iStat1 software is upgraded every 6 months. This is performed by MDSS. Clue expiring update required will display 15 days before the software expires. Invalid or expired Clue is displayed when software expires, and the iStat will not function. To finish this lesson, let's just refresh ourselves with the safety critical information. When using the laser, always scan it downwards into a safe area such as the iStat Lacon. The battery carrier should be read. Take care during turbulence and vibration that the battery housing does not fall out of the machine, and hold the iStat base in hand if required. In regards to the cartridges, propofol and thiopenton sodium can significantly affect the iStat results when using EC8 plus cartridges. The operating temperatures for this device is iStat is 16 to 30 and the cartridges are 18 to 30 degrees. If you need to clean the device, you may use a mild detergent wipe. If you'd like any further information on the iStat, you can go to the Abbott Point of Care website or have a look at our DLE website.